So what's up, everyone? Today's the 9th of February, and here's an article right here. Cathie Wood just bought 3 biotech stocks. Should you? These articles, these publications were the first to push stocks. Now, many people on YouTube is doing the exact same thing that these news articles or these websites did way back in the day before the internet was anything. And they're still doing it to this day. Look at the title. Okay, so what? That she bought 3 biotech stocks. You're going to ask the question to the reader, should you go out and buy since she did? Like, are you serious? If you guys been following my content here on YouTube for a while, you already know that I don't pay attention to what one person does, because they don't dictate what the market is going to do. And I want you all to understand that for yourself. Just don't get your points from one individual. Always verify what the person that you're listening to or what you're reading from, if it matches the price action of the chart. So they're trying to tell us Cathie Wood bought 3 biotech stocks. Logically, your mind would say, well, apparently if she thinks it's going to go up, then it must will, or it has to. No, it doesn't. So I'm just going to focus on one of these biotech stocks. Okay. And it's Crispr Therapeutics. Wood liked Crispr Therapeutics stock enough to buy it 12 times in January. She bought the stock 12 times. Now, with all of the money that she has under management, why did she segregate the purchase of these stocks 12 different times? Why didn't she buy it at one time? Why did she buy it 5 times out the month? She did it 12. Now, how are we supposed to react on that information? Like, apparently she is moving in a totally different circle than a regular retail investor. Apparently she's moving in the best interest of herself. And you need to do the same thing. Do what's best for you and not what Cathie Wood thinks. Given that the company just nabbed a pair of approvals for its first product, a gene therapy called Casgevy, if that's pronounced correctly, she's likely banking on its revenue and eventually its profits to rise rapidly over the next year or 2. So she's trying to buy now so that in the next couple of years she can leave at a profit. Now, that is what the Motley Fool is trying to insinuate. We don't know what Cathie Wood's plan is. She may just trying to hold it for the next 3 months and let it go. And then the crazy thing about it is that the Motley Fool is not going to come back and tell you that she sold. So you'll be sitting there buying up the stock because Cathie Wood bought in January. And when she sells or gets out of the market, you'll still be holding because nobody will have told you that she sold. You need to ensure that you have both sides of the market completed, a buy and a sell. Many people on social media only give you one side of the story. They don't never tell you when you need to sell it. They only tell you hold it for the long term, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, but what's the price that you think the market is going to go? Wall Street analysts on average expect the biotech to report around $163 million in sales in 2024. In the longer term, it may retain its leadership in the gene editing and gene therapy space, assuming that it can advance its next set of pipeline candidates. It's all a hope and a wish. That whole paragraph is all hypotheticals. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, if one of those things don't happen, don't expect the market and Crispr Therapeutics to break out as high as maybe what Cathie Wood is thinking. Of particular interest are Caspr Therapeutics oncology programs and its gene editing programs, all of which are in early to mid-stage clinical development. So there's still no actual product there. These 2 oncology programs target B-cell malignancies, and the disclosed gene editing programs are for inherited cardiovascular diseases. The idea is to edit patients' genes and hopefully, and they got that in quotations, permanently correct an error, thereby improving their health. Hopefully. Such an ambitious set of goals won't be easy to reach without a setback or two along the way. So they're trying to tell you right there, hey, this is a massive shot in the air, but expect some setbacks. Expect some volatility in the stock price. But the fact that CRISPR recently commercialized its first medicine could mitigate a significant amount of the downside risk. If you buy this stock today, be aware that the level of hype in recent months might have caused its valuation to rise unsustainably to high levels. See, now they're playing both sides of the game. In one breath, they're out saying, look, buy the stock. Cathie Wood bought it. You need to buy it. But then in the next breath, they're like, well, hopefully what they're creating is going through clinical trials, clinical development. It may not work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And also, there's been a lot of hype running up to, I guess, when Cathie Wood bought the stock. So the valuation may already be high. So you may be buying at the top, is what they're saying. But you just started the whole article. The title of the article is insinuating that it's a buy. Now, one thing I want you all to notice, though, look at this. Why I don't want you all to focus on what individual people are doing. You only pay attention to what's best for your interests. Okay? For you. Not me, not Cathie, not Warren Buffett, not Elon Musk. Do what's best for you in your current situation. Because that's what they're doing. They're not sending you an email. They're not trying to call you up on your cell and say, hey, what are you trying to buy? You see how that doesn't happen? So it needs to reverberate the same way. It needs to go the same opposite door. Hey, don't look towards them as your savior. Look at these comments from this article real quick. So there's 9 comments. If Cathie Wood bought them, you can make a fortune shorting them. Well, that's not a good person who thinks positively of Cathie. I wonder why they think that. Who gives a good, healthy dump what Cathie does? Another dude, look at him. They going in on Cathie. Apparently they don't like the stock picks that the Motley Fool are probably told, because I don't think that this is the first time that the Motley Fool said that Cathie bought something and then the market completely cratered and went down. I don't think so. Woods has underperformed the NASDAQ ETF since inception. Yeah, her Ark ETF, it has underperformed basically the NASDAQ. So she's not picking very good contenders to go against the NASDAQ. She's been underperforming. She's not doing a great job at picking stocks, is what that comment is trying to insinuate. Wonder how much she pays the media to stay in print. That's definitely a very good point. In order for these people to stay in the limelight, to stay in the headlines, they have to get, maybe they have to pay to get on. And they call that payola, to where they pay the content creator or the venue to which they want to get on a small fee. But you wouldn't know nothing about it because it's under the table. They don't disclose that. Did you see this article about Cathie Wood right here? Here it is. This is from the Business Insider. Cathie Wood's Ark Invest has destroyed $14 billion in wealth over the past decade. This is what the Morningstar was reporting. But then we got the Motley Fool over on one side saying that she bought 3 stocks. But she lost $14 billion in wealth. And just look at her. Like I said, pay attention to the markets. Cathie Wood Ark Invest has destroyed $14 billion in wealth over the past decade. A Morningstar analysis found that Ark Invest topped, meaning it was the first of the list of wealth destroyers among other investment companies. Who knew that they was tracking this? Yeah, you only see these other hedge funds, institutions, showing you how much profit they did make. who knew that they also tracked these institutions who lost money. These funds managed to lose value for shareholders even during a generally bullish market. So she even lost money when the stocks was going up. That's what they saying. Her Ark Invest ETF fund lost money while the stock market was generally going up. Ark Invest was all the rage in 2020 and 2021 when its concentrated bets on highly speculative technology companies paid off in a big way, thanks to low interest rates and a boom in risk appetite among retail investors. Back then, Ark Innovation ETF, it went up 150%. 2020. She was all the rage. She was on CNBC, Fox Business. All these articles was being ran about her. And it brought in money to her funds. They attracted nearly $30 billion in assets. Look at that. People they flocked their money to her because they're like, dang, if you could bring in 150%, apparently you know what you're doing, obviously. So let me give you some of my money. In 2020 and 2021, which were then decimated during the 2022 bear market when its flagship fund plunged. Get that. Look at it. 67%. Like, before the market plunged, before it entered the bear market in 2022, why did she not change her positions? Because apparently she didn't sell. And the stock went down 67%. Or her ETF. The Ark ETF destroyed $7.1 billion in wealth, while its healthcare-focused Ark Genomic ETF destroyed $4.2 billion in wealth, according to Morningstar. Across all of the family funds, all of the Ark funds that have destroyed wealth over the past decade, Ark Invest topped the list, and its losses were more than double the next firm on the list. See, you're not seeing CNBC, Fox Business pick up this article, pick up this information. No, because they want to do things that's in a positive light. See, we have to go out and actually find these particular articles being written about these prominent investors, about how bad they perform. Because this article can emphatically put a dent in how much money will come her way going forward. She needs to keep the perception up that she still knows how to pick stocks. See, even the people with the money get the calls wrong. So don't beat up yourself when you pick a couple of bad plays. It's going to happen. It's the point to where you need to switch when you know you're on the wrong side, and you switch over immediately to reduce that impact, because apparently she didn't switch. Her fund lost more money by double the next fund. What's striking is that Ark's massive wealth destruction occurred during a favorable time for the stock market. The Ark ETF has generated a total positive return of 121% since its inception of 2014. You might be clapping on that. Kudos, at least it's a positive return and not a negative one, which is less than half the NASDAQ 100 gain of 330% over the same time period. Meanwhile, Ark ETF is still down 71% from its record high, still right now. And the NASDAQ is running and making all-time highs today. Despite the massive wealth destruction, Ark Invest as a business is doing just fine. The investment company still has more than $13 billion in assets across its suite of ETFs, signaling that not all investors have abandoned Wood's investment strategy. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and look at Crispr, because that was the point of the whole video. And actually, I think that the market wants to go up. Now, we did a price prediction at Crispr right here on the 14th of June, 2023, looking for market to go down. It did just that. It exceeded our ultimate area TP, 11.77%. Let me zoom this in. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, market went way lower than that. And now the article is trying to insinuate that the market in Crispr is trying to go up. You can actually see that. The only problem that I'm telling you now is that earnings is due to be released next week. That can induce the market to go down. All right, so be prepared for the volatility to increase. Now, what I'm going to show you, and put this on the 1 hour chart first. We're going to place this sell zone up here because I want you all to understand that I'm looking for the market in Crispr to go up basically off of the price chart, not of the article, not because of what Cathie Wood is trying to do when she bought these 3 biotechs. I'm looking off the chart because the overall market, in my opinion, is the great decider as to where market is trying to go. So that's our first target though. Okay. Now you can see slightly that the market in Crispr has been trending to the upside as well. Okay. Now let's look at this on the weekly chart. Currently look a little bit bullish on the weekly chart. Here it is on the 2. 8 hours and 43 minutes left. I like how last week the market in Crispr ended the week down, and now we're currently ending the week on the high note. That's good. Here it is on the 3. Same thing, same picture. Look at this on the 5. Take a look at that there. So I'm going to expect some slight movement to the upside in Crispr. I'm not going to be drastically bullish though. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. I think I already did that one. And then let's do this one up here. Yep. So let me go ahead and get rid of that one. At least not that one, excuse me. This one. I think that's even more logical for a sell zone, because you can see on these particular trading days in the market in Crispr that the buyers could not break that zone. So this tells me that there's a lot of selling occurring at that spot. So if they can't do it on this earnings release, you already know that the market more than likely is going to continue to go down. Okay, so these are my targets in Crispr, and this area would be my buy zone. Okay, this is the lowest area I don't want to see the market in Crispr trade below, because if it does, then we need to have a conversation to talk. So that is around what, 20% there. Here's our first target, either the low or the high of this sell zone, or even in between. Now if the high is only 9.38% there, second target is going to be at the second sell zone. At the high, that gives us 21.61%. At the low, 16, almost 16%. Okay, so that's it. I am done. Go ahead and give me your thoughts about Crispr. What do you think about the performance of Cathie Wood? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Because obviously, no one's going to get it 100% right. Okay, so we're not going to just barrage her with negative comments and act like she don't know how to pick stocks, because apparently she do know how to pick stocks. Maybe it's not as good as the NASDAQ as a whole, but she's still allowing people to make money with her. So go ahead and give me your thoughts about it though. Make sure you maintain the profitability, and as always, trade different.